backwards.
You're at home, right? You're at home.
If we lose or draw to Everton, we've then got Newcastle away, which we conceded 10 goals in our last 2 games, and then a North London derby.
At the Emirates or White Hart Lane?
I'm not scared of Arsenal, bro. I'm not scared of Arsenal. Or Newcastle.
You should be scared of a lot of teams. That's what I'm saying to you. Like it's not even about the Ange football. You can see Ange football. Your players don't have the mentality to carry it along. That's what I'm telling you. There's a big difference between like your manager Ange, right? You can see what he's implemented. Give Ange another team with this same implementation that have the mentality and they'll execute. Your players don't have what it takes to execute it. This is why Solanke is struggled today. Solanke is a good striker, but the mentality of your club and the players themselves, and you can see exactly what Ange wants to do with his team and how he wants the team to play. Yeah. And then when he changed 4 players, none of them could execute what he wanted them to do as well. Tactically, I was looking at it and I was like, so my point is, your players are not good enough. Sarr was not good enough today, as far as I was concerned. Like I was like, what? You don't have the quality of like when I say like Brennan Johnson ball that you can see what Ange wanted him to do, and he just couldn't execute it. So and if you look at Leicester, what did Leicester do? Leicester had their one chance, executed the cross in, boom. Jamie Vardy was free, and Jamie Vardy could have headed that ball directly at the goalkeeper. No, he headed it down. That's textbook training ground header. Yeah, what he did there was textbook training ground header. So my point to you is, yes, you have a good manager who I think understands what he wants to do, but your players don't have the mentality. And so that's why this is why you should be afraid of every team that you meet, because once they break you down once, your guys are going to lower their heads, and that's the end of the game.
So this is the problem, Dio. The reason we can't be afraid is because we are a team that once we're afraid, we fall apart. That's why when we got scored on the first time, you see Maddison today. He played well in the first half. He played very well. That looked like first season Maddison in the beginning of the season. They score the goal. I kid you not. The first touch that he takes when Leicester scored, he slipped. He didn't make a bad pass the whole game.
But I think that's what Dio's saying, though. I get your point.
But he's saying that Dio's saying we can't be afraid.
No. When he says you, he means you as fans. He's saying you as fans should be, because you, as soon as a mistake happens, as soon as a problem happens, as you have just alluded to, you capitulate. And I think that, listen, I've been saying it for years on the Terrace. Mentality is every bit as important, if not more important, than your talent. We've all just sat there and watched the Olympics a few weeks ago. Every single gold medalist, every single world record holder, when you're listening to them talk, speaks about attitude, mentality, dedication. They all talk about that over their skill, but yet you still get numbskulls online who are sports fans that go, nah, it's all about ability and skill, mate. No, not according to the fucking winners. It's not, you plebs. It's such an important part of sport. Speaking of good mentality, we've got a partial American on the show with us as well. Americans tend to have good mentality when it comes to sport. I'm not too sure about the Egyptian side of you, but the American side probably has. Staffy. What are you here to say, brother?
Yeah, I didn't know if that was a compliment, a backhanded compliment. I didn't know you were going there.
It was a bit of both.
I was like, I don't know how to respond to this, but it is what it is. Anyways, yeah, I am here to be impartial. So I listened to what everyone said. I'm surprised that we mentioned mentality and we didn't mention the lack of quality, because I thought that was easier to see today. When I look at Spurs, they attacked a lot and they kept the ball they had 71% possession. And to be fair, they attacked towards until the end. So I don't really look at it and say it's necessarily a mentality thing. The Porro thing, by the way, Deji, I don't think that was Romero's fault. That was 100% to me, Pedro Porro, because he's the last man. He should be the last man on the post. You look at it again, you see Romero went to the near post because there was 2 players there. That's where the center back should be. So I think that was on Porro. But outside of that moment, which as I said, I'm blaming Porro for, I'm looking at the Spurs wingers, and I'm not gonna lie, they were a disappointment today. Son was a disappointment, and Brennan Johnson was a disappointment. And it's clear to see that Solanke was the best attacker that they had today. And listen, Dan made a good point. He probably should have scored today. There was that one chance that I think he did a 1-2 with someone and he hit it straight at the goalkeeper. That's the one. If you told me which chance are you putting money on him for him to score, that's the one he should be scoring. But overall, I had a good game. The issue is that I'm having with Spurs right now when I watch this game. I know Deji wants to come in with good news, but unfortunately, I have some bad news. This looks like Spurs of last season with Solanke, and that's not good. Maybe this. I was about to say it's a loss. It's not a loss. It's a draw. But maybe this draw is actually good news for you guys, because maybe now it's gonna wake up Levy or whoever to the fact that you guys still need an attacker. Because I'm not gonna lie, bro. Brennan Johnson is horrible. Son, listen, one of the legends of the Premier League, but I think he's washed. You can see so many first touches that he took, over hit, under hit. Sometimes he tries to take the ball wide, gets caught up by the defender. He was a letdown today. There was a few times where he would receive the ball wide on his left, and all I can think of is Son when that one season where he won the Golden Boot, when he tied Golden Boot with someone, and I'm like, yeah, that Spurs is going to score, but then his touch just let him down, or he just can't get to the ball as quick as he used to. I think that's the biggest disappointment today. And Ange, listen, it's so clear that he has a plan, and that's why I feel bad for Ange. He's one of the few managers that you can tell he's maxed out with the players that he has. He generally got this team to have 71% possession. By the way, they had 15 shots today to Leicester's 5, but they almost have the same amount of XG after shooting 10 extra shots. Spurs' XG was only 1.2 today. You don't take 15 shots and you register under just slightly over one XG. And that's the main issue. You guys have a lot of the ball, but there's no really penetration towards the end. Deji made a very good point. You guys were doing a little bit too much. There was that 1-2 that Solanke and Kulusevski did. And I thought what's his name? Kulusevski just smashed it with his left. He passes it back to Solanke and you miss it. And I'm like, you're doing too much. Just shoot. You guys had 8 shots in your own box, and you only registered 1.2 XG. It shows you the quality of the shots that you guys are having. So,
I'll be honest. I don't really. The XG,
you guys need to do something. Go ahead,
Staffy. The whole XG thing, the shots in the box, and all this rigmarole. I don't really care, because to me, Solanke fell over 3 times in the box with soft contact. Brennan Johnson gave the ball away that led to their goal. These things, you clean them up, it's a completely different game, and the Spurs that I was hoping to see this season. What I saw, I agree. There is a lot of what we saw last year, the uncreativity, Madison falling off by the 60th minute. I mean, I don't even remember anything good he did in the second half, him or Son. Brennan Johnson, same thing. Brennan Johnson gave us 15 good minutes where I was like, wow, he's really getting stuck in. He's won the ball back a few times. Yeah, one of the times he won the ball back, he tripped over the ball trying to beat the man, which was embarrassing. But I was like, he looks like he has a little something. I said, watch, it'll probably die off around the 20th minute. And sure enough, nothing from Brennan Johnson the rest of that match. It's clear that he is not a guy that we can rely on. I'm not criticizing Solanke first day out there with. To me, I just don't like the softness in the box. You're supposed to be the big body striker that I was excited for, and now you're falling over with little to no contact. To me, it's either you're being weak or you're hoping that the referee is going to be Captain Save-A-Ho. And I don't like that. It makes me mad when James Madison does it. It makes me mad when anybody just roll over. Like Brennan Johnson got fouled, right? Here's an example that I remember. Brennan Johnson was in the middle of the park. He gets pulled. His shorts or his shirt gets pulled. And rather than, you still had room to run. Rather than continuing the play, he's turning around, gesturing to the ref what happened to him. Let the ref do his job. Play the damn game. I hate this extracurricular, oh, someone help me. Don't look for an excuse. Go be the reason we win. And instead, it's just consistently the front line always lets us down. The midfield, Sarr was awful the first half, was our best midfielder that second half before he got hooked. It's always one half good from a player and one half bad from a player. And that's the most frustrating part. And for me, I've seen people blaming Ainge Postecoglou. Bro, the tactics set up Richarlison to have a free header near post. He can't hit it. The tactics set up Solanke to be in the box with a touch on his right foot. All he has to do is go near post and he shoots it right at the keeper. These are the little things that if you fix, we could actually get results versus a recently promoted team. That's what we're talking about drawing with. This feels like a loss. It's a major disappointment.
That's why I mentioned the stuff that I mentioned, Jacob, because as I'm saying, to have all these shots and still not be good enough, it shows that there's a lack of quality. That's the whole point of me going around this to mention this. You need better players in these situations.
That is really rich coming from you, because that man.
What does that have to do, bro? See, that this is what we fucking do every time.
Justiest teams I've ever seen in my life.
This is what we fucking do, Deji, every time. I'm here trying to give an objective analysis on how you see the court. He said comes rich from me, bro. What does that have to do with who I represent, bro?
Were you happy
I'm gonna
with
wear a
your
mask
team's
next time I
performance?
speak, so you don't know who I am, and you'll just
Were
take
you-
the
were
analysis
you
away
happy
from
with
who I
your
am.
team's performance on Friday?
I'm sorry.
Were you happy with your team's performance on? You weren't.
No, but what is that? How is that relevant to what we're talking about?
I'm just saying, bro. Before people start shaking their bum violently about my club,
La hawla wa quwwata illa
your
billah.
team wasn't
This
great
is not
either.
real, bro.
Your team weren't great either, bro. Let's be
Did you
real.
did you did you
You know
were
what?
did you
I
were
could do the
analyzing
shameless
the
thing. I'd
game
be
that
like, I
happened
picked up
today?
3 points. I didn't fucking do that. I'm just talking about what I saw in the game. I complimented who deserved to be complimented, and I criticized who deserved to be criticized. The fuck does that have to do with my team, bro?
Yeah, it's Stafford. You know what? Like, I agree with in my sort of opening monologue. I spoke about it's the lack of depth as well when it comes to quality. I think that there's real talent in Archie Gray and the other kid that came on with the blonde hair. When they both kind of came in together to anchor that midfield for the last 20 minutes, I said, nah, they ain't ready to do that together. Like, the money needs to be spent in those areas. And I agree 100% with what Jacob said. I think it's a mixture of a lack of quality in certain players, lack of Richarlison, like that. The header he missed at the end has nothing to do with mentality, tactics. That's him. But then there is definitely watching the players shrink and become different performers, even on the ball. The approach play after conceding is also a problem. And that's something for, I don't know whether Postecoglou's got to start playing loud music in training or I saw a stupid one that Arteta did the other day where he was, did you see the light bulb one?
The light bulb, yeah. That's
Yeah.
Why stay connected, guys?
No,
Why are we bringing Arteta into this?
I'm not having a dig at him. I'm saying maybe he's got to do something to improve. I don't know. Andrew's got to do something to help improve the mentality as well. So I wasn't digging Arteta out. It actually made me laugh. I thought it was AI when I saw him pull a light bulb out and leave from a bag. I thought it was AI. I was like, it's can't be real. It was
You've
funny.
only just seen that now. That's been around for ages. That's been around since the Amazon documentary.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but I cleanse my TL when I start seeing things I don't like dry banter. So if I see everyone making the same joke, when there was this sort of the picture he drew, because that's what everybody talking about it. I just muted every word connected to it because I was bored of hearing about it because it was just everyone. Everyone does on Twitter. They see a funny tweet and then everybody like copies it and changes a few words and everyone tries to go viral the same way. I can't be around it, so I just mute every fucker that does that.